As your branch song plays, please stand up and enjoy it. Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. Please be seated. There's a total U.S. missing in action from the Korean War still presently today is 7,910. 21 of which are from the state of Vermont, and their names will be read here shortly. There were 33,742 soldiers, airmen, Marines, and Navy killed in the Korean War, which back then was called a police action, and we all agree that is not a police action. It was the Korean War. I have a quote here. Those that were in the infantry will understand it. The rest of you can just laugh at it if you wish. This is from a battalion commander from the 23rd Regiment, 2nd Infantry Division in the Korean War. On the other side of every mountain was another mountain. What a great day to have freedom. What a great day to honor all Korean veterans for everything they've done for this country. The forgotten war is often referred to, the Korean War, and it's way overdue that we take the time to recognize all that you here have done and your friends and brethren that went before you and gave the ultimate sacrifice. It is indeed an honor for me to stand here before you, and thank you for coming on this day as we dedicate this monument to all that you've done. And I thank you very much for your service. Before I call on the Adjutant General to speak to us, I'd like all Korean War veterans to please stand and be recognized. Thank you so much, and you will never be forgotten.
This is more than an opportunity to remember and pay tribute to the over 54,000 service members who lost their lives during the Korean War. It's an affirmation of the heroism, sacrifices, and sheer grit, determination, and bravery of thousands of Americans who fought in the Korean War. It's a chance to thank them, especially those here in the front row, for your service and stepping forward to be counted among those who readily serve their nation, shipping off to a faraway land to fight a noble cause, to put your lives on the line for this country, the fledgling South Korean nation at that time, and to make a world a more secure place for future generations.
Many Vermonters left their homes and families to risk their lives in the war. 92 of them lost their lives in the conflict, and many more bore combat wounds that would never fully heal. We have a duty to ensure the sacrifices of these service members are never forgotten. As chairman of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, I promise to do everything in my power to ensure that the brave men and women who have put their lives on the line to defend our country receive the highest quality benefits and that they undoubtedly earn and deserve. Sincerely, Bernard Sanders, United States Senator. Thank you very much.
Vermont still has 21 Korean War veterans missing in action. Comrades, you are not forgotten, and we will always continue to search for you until we find you.
So families and friends and guests, it's an honor to read this proclamation on behalf of Governor Shumlin. State of Vermont Executive Department Proclamation. Whereas July 27, 2013 marks the 60th anniversary of the Korean War Armistice, signed on July 27, 1953. And whereas since July 27, 1953, Korean War veterans have been known as the veterans of a forgotten war. Whereas Vermonters were called to service in Korean War and did their full duty, as Vermont service members have always done. And whereas recognition ceremonies are being conducted across the United States in honor of Korean War veterans on the 60th anniversary of the ceasefire. And whereas the Korean War veterans gave freedom to countless South Koreans, and where it is necessary to properly thank all Korean War veterans and their families for their service to our state and country. Now therefore, I, Peter Shumlin, Governor, do by here proclaim July 27th, August 3rd, 2013, Korean War Veterans Recognition Week in the state of Vermont. Given under my hand and the Great Seal of the state of Vermont on this 8th day of July, 2013, Peter Governor Shumlin. Thank you.
Okay, go. Vermonters did their full duty in honor of all who served in the Korean War, June 25th, 1950 through July 27th, 1953, and in memory of all killed or missing in action, erected and dedicated by Vermont Veterans of Foreign Wars and its auxiliaries. That was what the memorial was going to be, but then you were so generous in your donations, we were able to put the one on the left here also, so we'll now unveil the left one. You are not forgotten. Your heroic deeds allowed millions of South Koreans to live in freedom. Freedom is never free. Thank you for your service to our nation. And you will notice the National Guard emblem is on the tall granite stone. Vermont National Guard was federalized and sent to Germany so that the 7th Division could leave from Germany to go fight in Korea. But you earned every bit of right to be on that stone. That's why your emblem is there.
I'm here at the VFW with Steve Leach. We're at the VFW in Manchester, post 6471. And we just had a beautiful dedication to the Korean War veterans. I'd like to ask you, Steve, what would you like to tell us about that?
Well, 60 years ago on July 27th, the armistice was signed putting the Korean War in a ceasefire. It has never ended. People forget that. It has never ended. I served on the DMZ in Korea in 1986 to 87, and while I was there and I walked around on top of some of the mountains in the southern part of the country, because obviously you can't go up on the north side, I contemplated what it must have been like to serve there in those cold winters of 50 to 53. And I had heard for many, many years, by the way, I'm a 20-year active U.S. Army soldier, that's why I was in Korea. I had heard for many years how the Korean War veterans are always being called the forgotten war veterans. When people talk about wars in this country, they always go from World War II to Vietnam. Therefore, the forgotten veterans. And I made up my mind I wanted to do everything in my power the rest of my life to make sure that Korean War veterans are never called forgotten or feel like they're forgotten. So 3 years ago, I came up with this idea. I petitioned and got the highway named during the 50th anniversary, and we did a dedication like we did today 10 years ago. And 3 years ago, I approached the state and said, can we get permission to put a memorial on this pull-off? I had to apply for a permit. They approved it. All the VFW posts in the state of Vermont and their auxiliaries, men and ladies, contributed the entire cost to buy this and have it put there. And today was at the end of 3 years in the making. 7 days after the fact, we dedicated the memorial, and it will be there hopefully forever.
So tell me how you guys are doing.
Good.
Lovely.
Did you have a good day?
Dirty.
You dirty. You deserve a shower.
Yes, tired, exhausted, but having a great time.
Any great words of wisdom?
Don't fall and hit your head in a mud bog in Vermont. It's not good.
Not a good
Enjoy
thing.
showers and electricity while you have it.
Yes.
Hike smart.
Wet wipes.
Wet wipes.
Baby wipe.
How about insect repellent?
No, it doesn't work.
I've
got evil blood.
All natural doesn't work.
Kind of the background on what we started last year, or what Sean and Mark started last year with Warrior Hike. When they came back from Afghanistan, they decided they were going to walk the trail, and realized along the way that it was an amazing way to calm their minds and to just get rid of the stuff. As Earl Schaefer said, walk off the sights, sounds, and losses of the war. We're doing this not only for ourselves, but we have young men, young women, and some older ones coming back from Afghanistan, coming back from Iraq, that have seen things that, you know, some of us understand and some of us don't. And this is just an amazing opportunity to support, for us to support those guys. And we obviously cannot do it without the VFW, Leagues, the auxiliaries, the American Legions, the Marine Corps Leagues, and every individual here in this room that has supported us, liked our Facebook page, given us rides, you know, everything, cooked us dinner, everything. And we cannot do it without all of you. So for us, we say thank you. And thank you.
My name is Kevin Reed. I currently live in Rochester, Minnesota. I grew up in Southeast Florida. I served in the United States Marine Corps from 1989. From 1989 to 1983. 2 years of my service was at 8th and I in Washington, D.C. While I was there, I deployed to Southwest Asia during Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Since I've been out, it's been 2 divorces, it's been 3 children, it's been one job after another. It's been a roller coaster, really, and didn't realize I had any issues until about 3.5, 4 years ago, and sought some help. I didn't go to the right sources the first time, but I found the right sources, and came across the trail totally by accident. Decided I was going to hike, and then came across the Warrior Hike again by accident, and said I want to hike with these guys. These guys are amazing. We've built some great friendships. You know, we've had ups and downs,
literally and figuratively.
Literally and figuratively, yes. But all in all, you know, these are great people. These are amazing Americans more than anything else, and it is my pleasure to be hiking alongside and behind, and well, generally behind them. But, yeah, I'm the fat, slow guy. So, but I thank you guys again. I thank Warrior Hike. I thank everybody. So, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Sharon Smith. My trail name is Mama Goose. And first off, I have to say that Vermont is absolutely stunning. I think all of us hikers would agree to that. I mean, it's just beautiful. Coming up over Stratton Mountain today, it was unbelievable. It was gorgeous up at the fire tower there. So I was at Desert Storm. I was a combat medic. Yay! Desert Storm? Yes! I was a combat medic. I flew in C-130s, and I was with the 1st Marine Division on the front line and took care of those boys and girls, and then also Iraqi EPWs. I'm now currently a physical therapist, a traveling therapist, so I can work 6 months and take 6 months off to do this and be out here on this trail with these guys and girls. And thank you guys all so much for dinner. I was thinking about this all day today with my 22 miles, and it was spectacular. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you so much for all of the donations, for all the guys and girls who are coming home. Again, my war was a long time ago, and it's helping me tremendously being out here on the trail. But one of the main reasons why I'm out here is to help the guys and girls who are coming home now. Coming home damaged, to give them an opportunity to just get out into nature and use the trail, use the woods, use the camaraderie as a way of healing. I know I can speak for all of us that it's helped us all, and we can only hope that it helps our brothers and sisters as they come home. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Tom Gathman, otherwise known as Jabba on the trail. I got my trail name for my love of eating lots of food, and I was slightly more rotund than the person you're seeing before you today. And it's kind of an interesting story, and it keeps getting better and better with the amount of food I eat at every event. I'm still waiting on my second plate of food from somebody over there. No, I'm just but I just want to say, first and foremost, really thank you all for coming out. It's a pleasure meeting a lot of you. I didn't get to meet everyone, but hopefully before I get out of here, I'll shake everyone's hand and really appreciate your faces here tonight. I served in the United States Marine Corps Infantry, 1st Battalion, 2nd Marine Regiment. I was in Iraq twice, fire team leader the first time, scout sniper the second time. You know, I'm not sure that I had too many issues coming out of combat. I've had a lot of friends that have had a lot of issues coming out, but I can promise you that the being out there on the trail has really given me a lot of insight into some of the things that I've seen and some of the things that I've been a part of, and it's really helped me to kind of carve a path for my future. And it's been a real pleasure to meet a lot of other hikers out here on the trail and to do it with these fine young people here beside me. And it's been one of the greatest 6 months of my life. Well, 4.5 so far. Hopefully the next month and a half is going to go along just as smoothly as the last 4.5. Again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Good evening. My name is Steve Clendenning. I served 20 years in the Marine Corps, retired infantry. I'm from Kokomo, Indiana. I currently reside in Jacksonville, North Carolina, home of Camp Lejeune for any of you jarheads out there. I only managed one combat deployment. I was wounded in Fallujah, Iraq in 2006. I think I'm the only Purple Heart recipient. I'd actually been planning this trip for probably the last 5 years and accidentally stumbled across Sean and Mark on the internet, and the rest has been history. 8 pair of shoes later, and
It's not normal, by the way.
it's not.
It's not.
But I have women's feet and I get blisters really bad. Just want to say thanks for the dinner. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for having us, and thanks for drinking with us.
All right, my name is Stephanie Cutts. My trail name is Rosie, and that comes from Rosie the Riveter, as I was a mechanic in the service as well as a mechanic in my home life now. I got out in 2008. I was in the Navy for 6 years and deployed twice in 2004 and 2006 to Southeast Asia as well as the Persian Gulf. And a lot of the problems that we find is when you get out of the service, you no longer have the camaraderie and the brotherhood or sisterhood, whatever you want to call it. And so, you know, the support that you're used to having. And so coming out here, you find it again. You know, we have our family back here, our fellow hikers, that, you know, they come and support us as well, and they're doing the same things we are doing as well. And so you make your own family. That's right.
Love ya!
I'm the crier.
That's okay.
But thank you for everything, and just keep watching our crazy photos, and we have videos now that from our halfway videos, and you know, we'll have videos when we finish, and we'll be sure to keep you guys in our prayers, and thank you for blessing us.
You're welcome.
Good evening. I'm Rob Carmel. My trail name is Rob. Not because I didn't need a trail name. It's just because I was in the Army for 32 years. I was called Private, Specialist, Sergeant, First Sergeant, Sergeant Major, and I just retired about a month and a half ago, so it's time to call me Rob. Been a field artilleryman, live up in Olympia, Washington currently. I always wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail. I would hike weekend hikes, day hikes along the trail up in the mountains of Maryland where I grew up. And that's when I decided that someday I'll be able to hike the whole trail. So once I got finished with high school and joined the Army the same year, 32 years later, I finally had 6 months I could hike the whole trail. So it's my opportunity. I'm glad that I joined up with Warrior Hike. I didn't find out about Warrior Hike until about 2 weeks before I was going to start the trail anyway. So I left all my gear that I had there and came down here and got all my gear in Georgia from Warrior Hike and just took off going. It's been an awesome experience. I am so glad that I got a chance to meet all the VFWs, Marine Corps Leagues, American Legions, and it's just been such a great experience, and any veteran would be proud to be here tonight, just to see these fine faces and this turnout.
Poor face.